15th of May 2024. In this news flash, I want to talk about this universal basic income that Malema and a lot of other socialists, communists, whatever you want to fucking call them, is talking about. I listened to this video and I want you to listen very carefully to what this man is saying. Focus, concentrate and listen.
Yeah, we've done the numbers, for the last 6 or 7 years. And the number that we come up with, depending on the population above the age of 18, is a 1.25 trillion rand that we've done, and plus minus, obviously, depending on the numbers. 1.25 trillion. And the way we say we're going to raise the funding is through what we call a parallel tax called the universal sales tax. So a parallel tax outside the current tax regime called the UST, universal sales tax. And we're proposing that, if you buy an item, any item, goods, services in South Africa, we add a certain percentage. As an example, if you buy a bottle of water at the supermarket, we add 1 rand 50 to 2 rand on a 10 rand, and that is the amount that we're going to use for that. Yeah, a universal basic income grant is not a socialist or communist proposition. It is actually much more capitalist, because if you think about it, if people get a UBI, universal basic income, businesses will grow multi-fold. I think this system that we are trying to put together will create many more billionaires than we can ever imagine, because those with businesses will grow much bigger. Those with business ideas will be able to implement their business ideas. So, we much more capitalist than you can ever think.
What the fuck is he talking about? What? What is the IQ of this person? What is his academic qualifications? That is, your guess is as good as mine. Listen to the shit he's talking. A universal basic income grant. Sounds great, but how will they finance it? Estimated cost today is 1.25 trillion rand. 1.25 trillion rand. Now I need you to look at the following. This is South Africa's debt position today. That was a while back, you can see when I took it. But I took it when I started working on this Skidmark. 4-point-something trillion rand. That is the total debt. This guy wants to fucking slam on another 1.25 and he smiles about it. But then listen to him. How are they going to fund it? These Einsteins, they've got plans for everything. They'll bring in a new tax, UST, Universal Sales Tax. But don't worry, it will be outside the current tax regime. What the fuck it means outside the current tax regime? I will have to pay that shit whenever I spend my money at the supermarket buying food for my family. And then he nonchalantly says it's not going to be much. Only between 1 rand 50 and 2 rand on a bottle of water that costs 10 rand. What is the fucking percentage? 15 to 20% on everything, goods and services. Now let's look at it. Look at the table that I'm showing you on the screen. So that bottle of water is 10 rand plus 15% VAT and then 20% UST. So that 10 rand bottle of water, total cost will be 13 rand 50. 13 rand 50. But let's look at my position as a taxpayer. I earn 2,000 rand a month. Then I pay roughly 400 rand pay as you earn. That leaves me with 1,600 Rand in my pocket. Now, that 1,600 Rand, I'm going to assume, I'm going to spend that whole 1,600 Rand on trying to stay alive. That 1,600 Rand will be subjected to 240 Rand VAT and 320 Rand universal sales tax. But don't worry, it's fucking outside the normal tax regime. What the fuck that means, but I'm paying it in any case. So that leaves me in the position that of my 2,000 Rand that I've earned by working hard for it, I can buy shit for 1,040. That is about half of what I've earned. That is my position as a taxpayer. Now you must take into consideration, if I spend 50 Rand of that at the fuel pump, putting fuel in, that fuel that I buy, I don't get 50 Rand of fuel. 35% of that 50 Rand is going to all sorts of taxes already and profits and cut. So now I must add in another 20% for this UST. So whatever I'm earning, the purchase power goes smaller and smaller and smaller. And then this fucking Einstein makes the following statement, that this is not communism, it's actually capitalism, because we will create a hell of a lot of billionaires. Now you and me, citizens of South Africa, under the ANC regime, we know where those fucking billionaires are going to be created. In that operation or department that must pay out this universal basic income grant. So they will steal billions before anything is paid out. And then this dimwit tries to tell us that whoever receives that meager basic income grant, they will use that income grant to start financing and establishing their own business, creating more billionaires. What the fuck is he talking about? That poor guy that's going to get that grant, let's say the grant is 1,500 Rand a month. I don't know what the fuck they're planning to make it. But let's say it's 1,500. His 1,500 Rand grant is going to be eaten up by the same shit that is eating up my 2,000 Rand that I've earned. So in the end, he's going to have a very small piece of that grant to actually try and stay alive. While those fucking billionaires that I've mentioned earlier will get again from that income grant. So open your eyes, South Africa. Our problem is that people that are actually paying the taxes are getting every day less and less and less. And that small number of taxpayers must try and finance all these fucking wet dreams of people like this dimwit. But we are fucked because the voters, the bulk of the voters, are too uneducated and to realize what the fuck these guys are talking about. All they hear is they can sit at home, they don't have to work for the rest of their lives, they will get a monthly basic income. Let that sink in. Think about it. And you'll have to come to the conclusion. Moses 6 verse 6. Stupid people must suffer. And how are we suffering? Please give me a like and subscribe and share the thing. Thank you for your support.